after a hot start by the Lady Tops, where they took as much as a 27-point lead in the first half. The Miners would fight back, but WKU would hold off their surge to win by a final score of 78-65. I'm Jordan Smith, joined by Jared McDonald for the Bowling Green Daily News. And Jared, what was it that the Hilltoppers did to get out to such a hot start in that first quarter?
Well, it was really a little bit of everything that was going right for them, but that started on the defensive end. In that first quarter there, they forced 7 turnovers, and they scored 13 points off of those turnovers. The only turnover they didn't score off of was when Raneem El-Jadawi missed a couple of free throws. But that's something the team has been working on. It's something they were able to do in the first quarter and in the first half as they built up that 27-point lead. Before they started to put it on cruise control a little bit, it seems, something they still need to work on. But Coach Collins will say it over and over and over. It starts on the defensive end, and they can't let the way they're playing on offense dictate the way they play overall.
With this team, we've gotten better. We've just got to become more consistent. We've got to become where we can, if we're going to beat really good teams, we can't have lapses like we have had tonight and then in the past. And so when we do that, we got a shot at being pretty good and beating some good teams.
It was one of the more fast-paced games that we've seen the Lady Tops play this season. Both teams were pressing. The Hilltoppers beat that press pretty well, especially in that first half. You saw them run up and down the court almost nonstop. But it started to slow down a little bit where they started to miss some shots, especially some free throws. But if it wasn't for Meryl Abdeldawad, who hit some key points in those final minutes, who knows, the Hilltoppers might have been in a little bit of trouble this game.
Yeah, absolutely. UTEP was able to cut it to single digits late. Like you said, Meryl Abdeldawad hit a corner three-pointer with just over a minute to play, and before that it was Dee Givens hitting the three. And that goes a lot to the experience that this team has. It's one of the most experienced teams in Conference USA. That Greg Collins credits that experience to playing a difficult schedule last year and a difficult non-conference schedule this year. They went 8-3 in non-conference play, now 9-3 in conference play, 17-6 overall. And they're one of the top teams in Conference USA, and if they don't win the conference tournament, there's a lot of talk about them getting an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament.
Defense was definitely the key to holding off that run by UTEP, especially by Dee Givens, who contributed with 6 steals in this game. She had an amazing game offensively and defensively. Probably one of her best games I think we've seen this season.
Yeah, absolutely. And defense is where it starts with Dee. Coach Collins has said it since that very first game at Louisville. If she's not scoring, just go out there and be a basketball player. She's been scoring for the team, one of the team's top 2 scorers with Raneem El-Jadawi also up there. But 6 steals tonight. She led the conference last year in steals, and that's really where it started for the Lady Tops.
The Lady Tops will be back here in Diddle Arena, where they are still undefeated, where they take on the University of Texas San Antonio. That game is at 2 o'clock. Reporting here at WKU, joined by Jared McDonald of the Bowling Green Daily News, I'm Jordan Smith.